Welcome back. We just finished watching Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, The Initiation. And, yeah. This is, as we're getting farther into this special Christmas episode, I'm getting less enthusiastic about these movies.
I warned you.
Oh, you did warn me. To be fair, I did like things about this movie. I liked aspects of this movie, but
It's just not a Silent Night
it's
movie.
for sure not a Silent Night, Deadly Night film. 100% for sure that is a true statement. It is not necessarily a bad horror movie. It's just not good. I don't know. Hard to explain. Anyway, Owen, tell us what you remember about the movie.
Okay. It'll get foggy in the middle, I'll warn you now.
Yeah, that's alright.
But it starts out, we see a homeless Clint Howard as Ricky.
Always a good start. Homeless Clint Howard.
But I don't
Quote,
think
Ricky.
I don't think it's the Ricky.
But it is definitely okay. So before we get ahead of ourselves, some of the concepts in this, or I guess the script started out as Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 3, but was scrapped and in favor of Better Watch Out, which I can see why Monty Hellman would want to scrap the script, because what the fuck does this have to do with Silent Night, Deadly Night? Though I get the intention, I get the idea that they rewrote the script with some more stuff in the intervening year between the previous movie and this movie. So probably some stuff changed from that script, but still, what the fuck does this do Silent Night, Deadly Night? Alright, just want to get that out of the way. Outside of this Ricky character, it's their only tenuous link. Also, there's some Christmas decorations. But it's California,
Yes.
so there's no snow.
There was actually more Christmas decorations than I remember when I first saw this.
Yeah, it's
But,
definitely
yeah.
a Christmas movie at least. You know.
Set dressing wise, anyways. But yeah, so he sees a flaming woman fall or jump and or push off a roof to her death.
Ah! Splat.
And then we're introduced to the main woman in the movie. She's having sex with her boyfriend while trying to watch the news about a flaming woman. It's very weird.
Like,
It turns out
turn off the fucking TV when you're fucking, or at least hit mute. Jesus.
he
That's
turned
some
it to
fucking
porn.
decency for your partner. You know what I mean? And porn is just as weird.
It is.
But hey, if that's what you get your rocks off, go for it, mind you. There are a lot worse things you can do in this world than watch porn while fucking.
But they end up they both work at a newspaper, I think it was.
Yeah, it's like a crappy dirt rag or whatever.
And she wants
Hold on.
what?
I lost you on the live stream. Alright, continue. Sorry.
And she wants to write a story. She's about the woman who was on fire and died. She's infatuated with it. But she just writes shit stuff in the newspaper. Like, it's a men's club, basically. All the dudes get the big stories.
So basically, the gist of this film is sexism is a thing and happens all the time in this movie. This woman is constantly hampered by people in her life that have penises, essentially. Constantly. Every male character in this movie wants to fuck her or fire her, essentially. Like, Christ. It's boys club, man. It's boys club. It's bullshit.
So she says, fuck that. I'm just going to do the story anyways, even though it wasn't given to me.
Goddamn right. That's the right
So she
choice.
goes to the scene, looks around, meets up with a creepy butcher guy who gives her some bloody peanuts.
Yeah, that was a weird scene. Here,
Yeah.
let me use my Chinese magic to knock the top of the dispenser and then dispense peanuts into my hand covered in blood and give you some.
Well, they were hers. She put the money in.
Ew,
But-
you touched them, you fuck.
It's true.
All you gotta do is hit the top and then your shit's at the bottom and let her take it out.
And we're introduced to the weird bookstore or librarian. I don't know which one it
I
was.
think it's a bookstore.
Yeah.
Like a rare
Creepy
bookstore.
Ricky's there as well. Just poking her
Creepy
in the
Ricky
butt.
is a homeless person wandering around, by the way.
He just walks up and gives her the old double finger in the butt. Not literally in her butt, but pokes her in the butt.
He
I don't
just
know what
totally
the point
sticks
of
the
that
finger
was.
right in her ass, right there on camera. It's pretty impressive. No, yeah, he gooses her or whatever he does.
Yeah, she
He's
freaks
wildly
out.
inappropriate with her and her body in public without her consent.
So the woman's like, "Yeah, I don't know her or anything about it, but here's how to get to the roof." She gets up there, looks around. Ricky's up there. He lives up there. He pulls this giant, like millipede-looking thing out of the
Some sort
fucking
of
thing on the
larva.
roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she freaks out and leaves,
I mean,
but doesn't
rightfully
really.
so, wouldn't you? Like,
She doesn't really think too much of it though. Like I've never seen a giant larva before.
Satan bugs, bro. Satan bugs.
But yeah, she just goes home. She's supposed to be going to a Christmas get together at the boyfriend's family's house, but she clearly doesn't want to. She's making some spaghetti or some shit in the microwave. And there's cockroaches everywhere, just all over the place. She starts trying to smash them, and shit just gets weird from there. Finally, she answers her phone. The boyfriend keeps calling. She goes over to the boyfriend's family's house, and turns out she's Jewish. Gets in a big fight with the dad over Christmas bullshit.
Dad was being kind of a piece of shit, to be fair.
Yeah, and she storms out.
Because, like I said, everyone with a penis in this movie is a complete piece of shit. Everyone. Even the boyfriend we're supposed to be, nice about. We're supposed to like him. He's very unlikable in that way, but,
Yeah. I don't know. Did they, like, break up or something?
She tried to near the end there. And she wanted to get the keys back from him, remember?
Yeah, because later, like, they get back together, but whatever. So, is this where she goes to the picnic? Or might as well just jump to the picnic part because I don't remember.
She meets, Oh, she goes back to the newspaper, and that's, like, I guess... I can't remember what they had an argument there. He said something
Or is
about...
this when she goes home and there's like a giant cockroach?
Yeah, that's right. So she goes home. She goes to the newspaper and has an argument with her boss. Then she goes home and she's having some sort of mental break. And like, there's literally man-sized cockroaches climbing on her walls and shit. It's kind of weird.
See, that's where it's like, are those real or is it in her mind?
Yes.
It's never
I think that's
explained.
the answer. The answer is yes. It's not supposed to be clear,
She kind of trashes her place, pukes.
Yep.
Her friend wakes her up.
As she walks in the bathroom and pukes, that's when you see the giant man-sized cockroach.
Which they use that shot repeatedly, trying to get their money's worth out of that.
Fuck yeah, she was
giant
probably
cockroach
expensive,
prop.
man.
Yeah. So then the friend shows up in the morning, cleans her up, and she goes to the park.
Right, that's when that happens.
And she meets up with the woman from the library and a bunch of other women, and she has like maybe a couple sips of wine, and then she fucking passes out. And
she's either a lightweight or she got Cosby'd.
yeah, because then like
poor girl.
Yeah,
this happens a lot in this movie to her, actually, more than once. I should say
the book woman kisses her, but then the boyfriend shows up. And she's like, how'd you know where I was? Like, your friend told me, which I didn't really pick up on until now. But she's like, I don't remember telling you that I went to the park. She's like, you did.
He's possessive.
She comes into play later because the friend's in on it.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
But the boyfriend pulls some strings, gets her the story. She doesn't even say thank you or anything. She blows it off.
Yes, she totally blows him off because she's done with him, and she's totally done with him, and he's not realizing yet.
Yeah, but they both go back to the scene. He's taking pictures for her because she's doing the story. They get on the roof, and that's when you left. He apologized, and they made out, got back together.
Yeah, I went pee. There's bathroom happening. Hold on a second, blow my nose. Holding it as long as I could, but Jesus. Alright, go ahead.
So he leaves. She heads downstairs, knocks on the door. The bookstore owner lets her in, gives her some tea, which clearly she put shit in it.
We're drugged. She got drugged again.
She passes out. A bunch of the other women show up, strip her down, and stick one of them larvae in her navel, which crawls through her, and she pukes it up. But now it's bigger.
She pukes up a cockroach on the way out, so it goes through metamorphosis through her. So
it was like not. It was like the head was a cockroach, but the back had like a bunch of legs.
I guess, yeah, maybe it was like a queen cockroach.
I don't know. It looked kind of like what went in, just bigger with a cockroach.
It wasn't. It was definitely not the same thing. The thing that went in was one of those larvae, and it came out with like a cockroach torso, at least at the front end. So definitely came out different, whatever it was. But ew, nonetheless. Ew. Oh, and then she gets bukkake'd with KY jelly all over her face and big globs.
Yeah, Clint Howard, Ricky shows up, cuts whatever she puked up in half, and then shakes all the guts out onto her face, which is, it was just KY jelly.
Yeah, it's just clear sex
You could
jelly.
even see, like, when it came out.
It's butt jelly.
And then it was, like, spiraling on her face. Like, they didn't even put it in anything and dump it. They were just squeezing it right out of the bottle.
That's right. Just come right out of the container, right into her face. It was like, oh, gross. Poor lady.
And then she wakes up. She's got all her clothes on. She's not sure if that happened or a dream.
Totally happened.
But then she's like feeling her face. And she's like, there's still shit on my face. And then the
hard to
woman's
get rid
like,
of that shit off your face. It just kind of melts. It's kind of. That's why it's lubricant. Damn it. Anyway.
And the woman's like, you're not done. But she freaks out and leaves.
Dun dun dun.
I was just waiting the whole time for them to say initiation. You're not done your initiation.
Came near the end though. Finally, last 15 minutes, it was there.
But she freaks out and runs. Ends up back home really late. The boyfriend's there,
asleep in her bed in her apartment.
Which was weird.
And she immediately demands the keys back and rifles through his pockets trying to find the keys.
Yeah, she's really freaking out.
But then immediately changes her mind, goes to the bathroom, throws the news story she's working on in the toilet and flushes it, which causes the toilet flood, and then immediately changes her mind again about other things and takes a wad of pills, and then immediately changes her mind and then fucked her boyfriend. And then I'm like, what the fuck is happening? She's basically wildly whipping between emotions because she's losing it. She's spiraling quickly out of control.
Yeah, she was like, I wish you would have stayed asleep so I could have had sex with you.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, that was her line. Like, what?
And then Ricky shows up to bring her back, and he gets distracted and watches Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 on TV.
Yes, he does. Is it 3?
Yeah, it was 3. It was the blind girl sitting on Santa's lap in her dream.
Oh, yeah.
And then Santa busts out the knife. I was like, okay, now they're super establishing that this is not Silent Night, Deadly Night. And or being like, wink, wink, Halloween 3.
Yeah, right.
That's why it's okay that this movie doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Anyway, let's get to the end here.
Yeah, and then the boyfriend realizes fucking that someone's sitting on the bed. Tells him to get out.
He walks in and it's like, what the fuck? How do you not notice that someone's in the room with you? I've never been so into fucking that I didn't notice when someone entered my room.
Just sat on your bed.
And
turn the TV on. Like, even if you didn't hear him come in and see him sit down or feel him sit down, you would hear the TV pop on.
When something like that happens, you immediately lose your heart on. Like, whoop, it's gone. It's like inside your body. You're like, what's going on? Something's here. Something's wrong. Like, what the fuck?
And then
no sex. There's no sexy times when scary shit's happening.
Of course, they're both scared, and then he's like, oh yeah, you need to come with me. And he seems pretty chill about it, and then the boyfriend starts beating Ricky. So he's just like, stop it. So he beats up the boyfriend, gets a knife, starts stabbing the bathroom door, and even stabs her in the ankle under the door. And then
Oh yeah, it's really smart. He like sticks the knife underneath the door and stabs her foot. Like
yeah,
yeah, smart. No one does that in fucking movies.
and then he goes back in the kitchen and just really awkwardly keeps stabbing the boyfriend in the gut.
Fucks that dude's day up.
I think she hides under the bed. He goes to get her. The boyfriend comes in again, and then he really goes to town on her, on him, anyways, killing him.
Oh yes, yep.
And she gets on the phone because her friend's calling and says, "Call the cops."
Yep.
And then the friend shows up, which I completely forgot that she was in on it. Because she shows up and they're like, "Why the fuck did she show up and not call the cops?"
Because she's in on it.
Yeah. And she's like, "You need to take her back, Ricky." And then somehow she cleans that apartment up amazingly, which we see later.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Like, okay.
So she's tossed into a meat locker. They eventually come in, do some ceremony shit. Ricky's wearing a dick mask.
Oh yeah,
Seemingly,
it's a weird like masquerade mask with a giant dildo attached to the nose, or instead
and
of the
then
nose.
seemingly fucks her.
Yes, it's implied that he fucks her with his nose.
No, with his penis. What are you talking about?
I thought it was in his face that he was fucking her with.
No, he got down on his knees. She was in a chair. Seemingly put it in her.
That's generally how you put your face in someone's crotch. Yes, you are on your knees
No.
and they're in a chair. Yes, that's how
You were not paying attention. There was no dick nose going in there. It was assumingly his penis. We don't see that
This
part.
conversation is not worth our time.
It is.
Oh, God.
You need to know what part goes in there.
Oh my god. Okay, so he fucks her without
Whatever goes
So
in
what's
there.
the point of the dick nose
Neither one of
costume if
them.
he doesn't fuck her with the dick nose costume? What the fuck?
Neither one of them seem to be enjoying it.
Of
Sounds
course,
really
no one's
painful
enjoying
for
anything in
both
this
of them.
movie. Everything's miserable.
And then yeah, they leave, and then she her fingers start tying together, and she fucking legs become one.
Some
And then
society shit happens. You're like, what the fuck?
then in the morning, the meat cutter shows in. Is like, "You've been initiated. Get the fuck out." Pretty much. Which is weird because
They're all
the
women
whole
except for him.
yeah, like the whole thing was like, you don't need men. That's what that.
That's all
you
women
know,
empowerment. That was the point of the
But-
fucking movie.
But the Asian woman has a dude, and they run the meat locker deli place.
I guess so.
Unless it's like brother sister or something.
Oh, Christ.
I'm not saying they have sex. I'm just saying maybe the brother sister run that place. And
Oh.
he's just like,
Christ.
He just-
That's true.
he just deals with this shit. He's like, "Oh, come on, not another one in the meat locker."
Meat locker full of fake meat.
But her initiation is not done. They want the brother, the boyfriend's younger brother, for some reason.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you'll burst into flames, which that's when she runs home, calls the cops, and like the house is perfect. There's nothing. Door's not stabbed, there's no blood, there's no evidence that the boyfriend was killed there.
It's just standard going crazy trope.
And the cops like, "You need therapy? You want therapy?" She's like, "No." He's like, "You need some."
Oh, God.
He was a
That
real
line just made me shake my head like, well, that's terrible.
Yeah. So she starts seeing, like, she gets to work and she's like, "Congratulations on getting the story." Wink, like at a Christmas party. And she like slaps the drink out of the friend's hand. Like just starts smacking everyone at the party.
She starts losing it again.
Yeah. And then Ricky's following her around, and then she starts bursting into flames, so she jumps in the shower. She does nothing. And then Ricky climbs in. He's like, you gotta do what they say and it'll stop. So she agrees. They head over to the parents' house, Christmas, trick the kid into coming out. Of course, Ricky fucks it up by going in and killing the parents.
Yep. Well, that's Ricky for you.
And they drive off with the kid. He's tied up on the roof. The woman wants her to stab the kid. A bunch of those larvae shit start coming out of the pipe.
Oh,
I guess to
it's
crawl
really
into the
gross
kid.
and cool looking. Love the larva things a lot.
She instead shanks the woman, which doesn't seemingly does nothing. She pulls it out. For some reason, Ricky's like, "No, don't hurt her." And the main woman, not the book woman.
All right. Ricky is for some reason now like, no, don't hurt her. You're like, what?
So he gets fucking gutted.
Yeah. Well, hey Ricky,
And
you're
then,
so fine. You're so fine. You're dead. Anyway,
boo.
it was bad. It was really bad.
The larva crawl in his wound.
I must have missed that shot.
Yeah, they were crawling in his wound.
That's my shame. I missed that spot. I should go back and watch it.
I assume that's what they were gonna do. Like, you stab the kid and the larva crawl into him. I don't know why, but
To nest in there, to turn into giant cockroaches. Clearly.
so it's kind of revealed here that
Don't you
the
know your
woman
giant
that died.
cockroach biology?
No, but it's revealed that the woman who died was the main bad woman's daughter.
Dun dun dun.
Apparently, nobody was checking names or anything.
Dun dun dun.
Because it's not like she was listed as like Jane Doe. Because she's like, Lily, why won't you listen to me? It's like, that's the dead woman's name.
Dun, dun.
Oh, yeah, that's my daughter, by the way. She was too infatuated with men. Wouldn't listen to me. But so she's starting to start on fire. Her hands tie up in a weird knot and burst into flames. And she says something like, I'm not you. And shoves her matted, flaming fingers into the woman's guts that are still opened, that she doesn't seem to be bothered by. And she bursts into flames. And somehow her hands go back to normal and she's fine. And she falls off the building on flames, and all the other women in the group look over the building and just kind of like, eh.
And thus the movie ends in a complete circle where it began.
Yeah. Well, she frees the kid and they hug, and which is weird because she did kidnap him. But
under duress, to be fair.
Yeah, I want to point out also that the movie just ends not really pointing out the fact that his parents are fucking dead. So I gotta assume she has to now raise that kid.
Or he's just gonna be a foster kid.
Who's fucked up.
Well, yeah.
They could have made a sequel to this where he just starts wearing a Santa suit, killing people. Like, full circle.
Oh, man. This one was a slog. This one took a while to get through. It felt like forever.
Yeah. I feel like they should have just put a different name and released it under its own.
Could have just called The Initiation, We'd be watching it for a different, probably for a Christmas movie anyway. But it wouldn't be Silent Night, Deadly Night. Because it's not really at all.
No.
Except for Ricky in Christmas. That's it. I really liked the effects in the film.
Yep.
And I loved lots of the concepts, like the whole larva cult thing, which is leftover ideas that Woody Keith had from Society, which is another film that we should totally watch at some point. There's a lot of special effects sequences that were like, oh, that's kind of like Society. At one point I even mentioned, hey, that's like Society. When like the flesh start merging and shit. It's kind of cool. So.
Yeah. The director was being like overly artsy in a lot of his shots. Like, especially the whole meat locker scene is like shot through the back of the chair when she's on the ground, or up above but tilted through the meat as she laid on the floor. I was like, oh, a little artsy for what you're making here, buddy.
And the script was originally envisioned as a direct sequel to the franchise, but at some point it incorporated stuff from Society apparently, and then became its own weird thing.
It's kind of like when you watch Intruders.
Never seen it.
Oh, we should watch that one.
Is that the one with the shopping, with the grocery store?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just reminded me of that because like there was these just ridiculous shots. Like there's a shot where it's under the scanner as she scans groceries over it.
That's
like,
totally like something Sam Raimi would do.
But Sam Raimi didn't make it.
No, it's directed by his friend Scott Spiegel though.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's the influence obviously, but Yeah, I know about Intruder. I just haven't seen it. I don't own it
Yeah.
yet. But yeah, we
I
should do
just
that
got
at some
that.
point.
I just got that slight vibe of these kind of weird, unnecessary shots for considering what you're making. But
Well, I mean, this film, like I said, felt a lot like Society in many ways. So if you like this one, you would really like Society because Society is actually a good movie, unlike this movie, which is a 2-star movie at best. I'm gonna give it 2 stars out of 5 for the special effects alone.
I'd give it a 1.
Fair enough.
Considering that I'd seen it, but I forgot 90% of it. That tells you a lot.
That's true.
All I remember is they called him Ricky, but I'm like, that ain't Ricky.
That's not Ricky. That's just a weird homeless Clint Howard, covered in an inexplicable amount of dirt.
Although his head was eerily similar to the brain dome in part 3.
He looked like an extra from Street Trash. That's where I'm going with that one. All right. So anything more to add to this favorite part?
Got to see that girl naked, I guess, was alright.
There was a fair amount of nudity. Wasn't gratuitous or anything, but yeah, there was a fair amount of nudity.
I don't know. I think what always holds me back from it is just the fact they call it Silent Night, Deadly Night.
You know what holds me back from it? It's boring for the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty boring.
First 30 minutes just drag.
Although I did laugh at the fact that the chalk outline for the woman that fell off the roof was not in the right place.
Or it was too small. It was like a 10-year-old child size burn mark. It was like, what the hell? And the burn marks were on top of the chalk marks. It fucked up so hard on that.
It was very weird.
Yes, was very weird.
Apparently, they didn't hire one of those people that's supposed to make sure everything looks right.
Continuity
Or,
person.
yeah, where they're like, a cigarette was this long in this shot, so you gotta make sure it's that long for the
Script
next
person.
one.
Script boy or girl, they're called, depending on their gender.
Or they just didn't give a shit. Like, yeah, it looks right.
Yeah. That job, that job is super fucking hard, and it's one I've done on sets, and I've hated to death. Hate it. But that's neither here nor there. Do you recommend this film in any way?
If you like weird shit, sure.
I recommend you watch this for the effects and fast forward through all the boring shit in the middle that doesn't have effects.
I wouldn't put it in my holiday horror marathon or anything.
It's never gonna get watched again by me. That's for damn sure. So far, unless Toymaker's really great or really terrible and hilarious in that manner, this whole set is just gonna go in the trash. There's nothing on it I like.
Yeah, and unless there's fucking Santa in that one, the most Santa you're gonna get is right here on the cover.
Yep, and in the movies, inside the movies. That's it.
Because, I mean, there was one shot of, like, a Santa, and there was a drunk Santa in 3, but Ricky didn't even put on the fucking Santa suit, so I'm still pissed about that. He killed Santa, but he didn't put on the suit.
At least put the fucking hat on. Is that so goddamn hard?
I was like, you did it in the second movie. Why wouldn't you do it in the third? No matter how much brain damage you have.
Reasons, apparently. Alright, so I guess that will wrap it up for Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, Initiation. A film that is wildly mediocre.